Good morning. Uh, Last week, or was it 2 weeks ago? My colleague Thomas, as some of you may know, he created a podcast channel called Keep It 100 Thoughts. Right? So he invites people to go to his studio, and then, of course, I mean, everybody does a podcast these days, right? But for his one is actually interesting because he invites people there to discuss about uh, his main purpose, I think, is to empower the younger generation, where you know sharing some insights to them on how average people like us thinks, or the things that we do, and probably is closer to them because uh, I mean, some of us in our mid 30s, I'm in my early 40s, soon to be mid, um, and probably people like us, when it comes to these sort of topics, it's easier to relate to for those who are in their 25 or 27-year-old uh, range, or probably 23 as well. Now, I don't mean all, because I have met so many, so many 24, 25-year-olds that are ultra successful. I mean, we live in an era whereby there are so many groundbreaking new technologies that it it beggars belief that someone who is still studying in college is able to set up an account in this website, set up a store in Shopee or Lazada, and then meddle with Taobao and all that, and then they are earning hundreds of thousands a month, and some in cryptocurrency and whatnot. It's an era where you don't need a degree, you don't need to go university or colleges to make a living, because technology has empowered everybody. Now, of course, not everybody is in that frame of mind. A lot of people who are still studying, who are still fresh, coming out with a certificate, trying to look for a job, uh, so his channel actually shares a lot of insights. Of course, I love watching when Sean Tan is talking. Sean Tan is the guy who ran the channel I Heng, or Yi Heng. He himself called himself Yi Heng, but everybody, the whole industry, calls him I Heng. And 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 yeah, he is a property guru, property expert. So he knows a lot about property. I think he studies architecture or something like that. And then he works in Makeover Guys. I mean, very famous, very big ID home makeover company. So he has a lot of insights, on how he goes with property investment, how to extract equity out of his current property, and then how to leverage it with another bank facility, blah blah blah, and all that. These are all the things that I know, but I don't do. I don't. Sometimes it's about whether you are interested in it or really passionate in it, or he is extremely passionate in it. So I learned so much from him. That 3 hour talk, I was a bit disappointed that Thomas cut it to a 2 hour session. We actually sat there and talked for 3.5 hours. It's crazy. And when it's time to end, it was like, oh my god, I still want to talk to this guy for another 3 hours. He's that kind of guy, like very hyper knowledgeable. And of course, Thomas as well. Thomas is someone who I greatly admire. Uh, he does things that I don't even know exist, or people actually do that. I'll give you an example. Thomas is the kind of guy where he's like a sponge, always ready to to accept new things, and then he doesn't know how to do it, and then he learn, and if he couldn't learn fast enough, he go and take a course. And when he took a course, he doesn't want himself to slack off the course. He will hire a coach to make sure he goes through the course. It was I had this mind blown moment when there was this time where Porsche Johor was doing an opening, and then Porsche Johor invited media to 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 go there, put up a night, and then attend the events. It's a whole media outing thing, which I wouldn't want to stay a night in Johor. Johor is like what, 400 kilometers away from where I stay, KL. And that time I had a test car, a media test car, which is an EV Volvo, an electric Volvo. Now, electric cars, you want to drive smoothly and cover 300, 400 km, you can barely do it, provided you are very strict with your speed limits and the way you accelerate, blah 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 and all that. Because at high speeds, as we all know, at high speeds they deteriorate very quick in terms of the range. So I was like, hey Thomas, let's go Johor for a day trip. We just drive down there and charge lah. What's the problem? I mean, when we run out of charge, we just charge lah. As you know, if you charge with AC charging, it's slow but it's cheap, right? You can fully charge a car by spending 20-30 ringgit. That's it. Public charger, you know, AC charger, public charger, you fully charge a car, it's like 20 over ringgit, which is compared to refueling a car, 120, 130 ringgit, crazy, right? But when you go DC, you plug it in, 20 minutes, it gives you a full charge, it'll cost you like 70 ringgit, right? And then every time I fully charge the car, it's Thomas' turn to drive the car, and then he whack 180, 170, 180, 170, 180, and then it uses up very quickly. Then we have to go charge again. So I paid for the charges. Anyway, it was during that trip that halfway while I'm driving, Thomas got a call. When he got a call, at first, the things that he spoke of, right, he was like, yes, okay, yeah, I'll get it done on Monday. Yeah, sorry. Okay. That one is still in progress. Okay, I will get it done. So that was, to me, sitting next to him, it's not like I'm eavesdropping, right? But I can hear his reaction. I can't hear whatever that person is talking about. I don't even know what phone call is that. But from his reaction, the other guy from the line sounds like his boss, because his reaction is, okay, I'll get it done on Monday, blah blah blah, you know, okay, that one is still in progress, you know. So I thought, ooh, his boss. Then the conversation after that sort of went to, when can you prepare it for me? Yeah, no, I want it on Thursday. Wednesday I'm not free, I cannot. Yeah, you have to make time for me on Thursday. So I was a bit confused. Why now that person on the other end of the line sounds like his employee, sounds like his staff? And after the phone call, I looked at him, you know, that weird face. I was like, who the hell is that? And then he was a bit shocked, like, why? I was like, no, when you pick up the phone, the first part of your conversation, you sound like his staff or her staff. And then the second part of the conversation, she or he sounds like your staff. So, what's that? And he was like, oh, no, that was my coach. Coach? What coach? Oh, it was my coach. I signed up for a course to learn share trading. Then I was like, okay, then they provide you with a coach? Then he was like, no. Whenever I sign up with a new course, I will always sign up a coach to make sure I push through everything. To make sure I do everything on time and get everything done. Whoosh, my mind just got blown. That is the type of person my colleague is, Thomas. Right? His relentless desire to not only learn but put to practice and just do it. Yeah, his just do it is next level. It's next level. Of course, I know there are a lot of crazy people out there, a lot of very determined people out there. I'm not one of them. I'm more of like the right brain, more passionate kind of person. If I'm not interested in it, you give me ₦1,000,000 ringgit, I wouldn't even do it. You know, I'm that kind of person. I'm not the logical left brain person. You know, the kind of person whereby, hey Bobby, I want to buy your company for 5 million, and then I calculate, okay, every year I earn this much, what's the ratio, what's the whatever, and then calculate, okay, worth it, I should sell it because this is correct. You know, I'm not that type of person. I'm like, no, I love it. It's losing money now, but I love it. It's my baby. So I won't sell it. I'm that kind of person. Alright. So not the most logical processing kind of person. but more the passionate type, right? Yeah, like a car maker. I did a review, and then I said something bad about certain thing about their cars, and then they don't like it, so they don't pass me a car to review for the longest of times. And then after a while they are like, maybe he has learned his lesson. Okay, then they pass me the car again, and then I talk shit again because I'm passionate with car reviews. Then I get banned again. Okay, anyway, so I mean, I don't talk shit lah. I'm a fair person. It's just that I'm upfront when it comes to car review. I'm passionate in it because I'm passionate with wanting the car industry to do well. I know it's not easy to run a car company, a car manufacturer, and when they do the right things, we celebrate with them. We celebrate all out. We promote them like nobody's business, okay? Because they did something well. But sometimes, some car makers, some bean counters, some wrong decision making, they would inevitably do something that is wrong for the market, and it is our duty to point it out, and then so that if they ever watch our reviews, they will improve their cars. You know, whenever I review my cars, I always put my fingers into the door bin to feel how they do the finishing with the molding. Do they just leave it as it is and it remain very sharp to the hands, right, in the door pockets, and then I will point it out. Recently, I noticed a lot of car makers begin to add a plastic strip on top of the molding, the sharp moldings that inevitably got left behind. If you say that it's not car reviewers and motoring journalists who repeatedly point out these things and hence they went and improve it, I don't believe you, right? There is also a car maker whereby, you know, our seat has seat rails, and then the seat rails behind the metal, there's always a plastic cap, and some of them, again, the plastic molding, they leave it as it is and it's sharp to the touch, which might cut the little feet of your children behind. I also will point it out, right, in hopes that they will improve and take note on that. So these are the kind of things. Anyway, back to that podcast, and then I mean the whole podcast is that I Heng is a property expert, and then Thomas wants to pit me against him, whereby I'm the car guy, you know, I'm the car guy who always encourage people to buy cars, and then he will tell people the logics of buying property, how to choose the right one so that you get to invest, you build your equity from there, which is correct, totally correct. And during that podcast, it was interesting because at the end of the day, right, he realized he was the one who pointed out, you know, he's a very sharp person. He was like, actually, whether it's property or cars or whatnot, right, do you realize that whatever we discussed today is towards the same thing, which is to buy the right thing so that you won't lose money, so that you get to hold the equity of whatever car that you purchase and all that. Because I pointed out to him that for me, my journey of buying cars is that I know for a fact that if I'm not rich, I mean, not all of us came from rich background, right? I can only start with something that brings me around, and then my goal all this while is to hope that I can quickly go into cars that no longer depreciate at a certain price point, at a certain point of time. So if that sounds like nonsense to you, it is not. So I'll point an example. The normal everyday cars that we buy and drive, be it the 4-door hatchback Myvi holds value really well, comparatively speaking. And then a Beza and all that, right? All these cars, right, they are practical daily for use, right? They are the type of cars where they serve you well, they save you money, but eventually they will depreciate till they are worth nothing. Eventually. In Malaysia, it's better. Malaysia used cars are quite amazing. You can buy a 30-year-old used car for still asking for 8,000 or 9,000, you know, something like that. But the fact is this: if you are someone who always walk into a showroom and buy a 4-door, let's say a 4-door Persona, or a 4-door Honda City, or a 4-door BMW 3 Series, or a Honda Accord, and then you use it for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, the car has depreciated, and then you buy another new one, a new Accord, a new Camry, or a new 3 Series, or a new 5 Series for that matter, and then as you use the car, it will still depreciate. You will always just cycle around these. Now, for normal people, they don't see a problem with it, they go ahead with it. But for car enthusiasts, this is actually a trap. Because for car enthusiasts, we want to pursue the nice cars or the special cars, right? So for me as a car enthusiast, I always work hard. Hopefully one day I can go into the type of car that no longer depreciate. What do I mean by cars that no longer depreciate? I'll give you an example. Say a Porsche 997, let's say is 280,000. It will more or less forever be around that price point, provided you found a rust bucket and then the guy is willing to let go of 160,000 or 170,000, or someone in desperate need, right? But generally, if you buy the car around 200 over 1,000, it will always be around 200 over 1,000, and you can just use it and use it and use it and use it for 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. It will always roughly be around there. Same goes with some Ferraris. They will always be about 500, 600,000. The 599, the F12 is a lot higher, right? They will always be around there. But the fact that the point is how to reach there, how to go there. Because, I mean, nobody can afford 200 over 1,000 cash, right? Not many people can do that, right? Especially those that come from average cars like that. But there are ways to go there. I'll give you an example. Let's say 5 years or 6 years ago, you purchase a Toyota GT86, right? 6 years ago, you buy it for about, let's say, 120,000 ringgit or 130,000 ringgit, right? You buy that car. Versus 6, 7 years ago, you bought a Hyundai Elantra for 130, 140,000 ringgit. Today, the Hyundai Elantra is probably worth 40,000. The GT86, if it's a good one, you kept it really, really well, people like it, you can probably fetch 90,000 as an enthusiast car. You would have paid off the car and you're still using it, but that car holds 90k. Now, your Elantra, when it comes to replacing another car, let's say you don't feel it's a problem, you still have your Elantra, but it's already worth 30, 40,000, then you dispose of it, and then you buy another, probably a Kia Cerato or something. I mean, Korean cars are well built, right? Or you bought an EV for 130, 140,000, right? And then you use it 6, 7 years down the road, the car will be 20, 30,000, right? Versus the GT86 guy, he keeps the car that is fully paid off, GT86, he keeps it there, and then he spent another 120, 130,000, he buys a Mazda MX-5, right? And then he uses it for another 7 years like that. The car is fully paid off, it is still worth 120,000 or 110,000. Now, combine both cars, his GT86 and his MX-5, after he's paid off, he gets 200,000. You see where I'm going? This 200,000 will be very, very useful when suddenly he saw a good deal. A 2014 Porsche 991, right? Being offered for a very special price, 360,000. The guy just want to get rid of it. He wants to migrate. Most people are selling 400 plus. He's like, nah, 360, I'll let it go. And then this guy look at his arsenal. Hey, I have 200,000 cash worth of cars, GT86 and MX-5. And I usually take a car loan of like 140,000, no issue with the bank. Probably I can try ask the bank, what about 180,000? Maybe I can try, right? So he has his 2 cars, he sells it, he get 200,000 ringgit cash, and then he apply a loan from the bank, 180,000, and the bank is like, wow, the car is 360, 380k, this guy can fork out 200k cash, only wants 180k loan, low risk, approved. Suddenly, this guy who always buys cars that are 140, 150,000, suddenly ends up with a 991 just because his past 2 previous cars, he made the right choice. And suddenly, he gets to jump himself into a 991. Now, you may be thinking, he's not that kind of income level. He tries to buy this type of cars, Poyo, try to show off. No, he's a car enthusiast, right? All this while, he cannot afford a car of that price, right? But suddenly, because he made the right choice, now he suddenly could, if he tried hard enough. And if he's lucky, he got into it, perfect. Why? He can drive the car 6, 7 years down the road, pay off the car will always be worth 350k or 400k. He has 400k cash in hand for him to go to the next car that might not drop in price. Now, of course, certain cars like Ferraris, the moment they reach 500,000-600,000, most of the time they are cash buys. Alright, but there are some rare Ferraris that will go down to this price point even though they are still available for bank loan. Say for example, previously would be the Ferrari California, alright, which my colleague bought one for like what, 480,000. Now you have the facelifted California, the California T with the new fronts. Asking how much? 400 plus. Now, this guy, after he paid off his Porsche, he has like 350,000 cash in hand for him to go for his next car, right? That means when the time comes for him to look for another thing, he can go into a Ferrari. He can take a loan of 100 over 1,000 and then he's able to buy the Ferrari California T, the one that looks like the Portofino, for 400 plus thousand with his 991 that is cash value, and he can go there. The thing is this, a lot of these cars, right, the prohibitive part is the buying, because we don't have that kind of income or that rich to buy, you know. But as car enthusiasts, when we make the right choices, we can slowly, smartly scale up to these type of cars that holds our value at a higher point, at a higher point, at a higher point. And then from there, these are our assets and or our equities, right? So during that whole conversation, I was trying to tell him this is what I was aiming for all along, and I've sort of gotten, you know, like this 6 Series convertible, anytime it's worth 170, 180,000. So it's paid off, and then this one holds my value there. I bought it at 250,000, so it's a good deal for me. I've owned this car for 9 years now, and it has only depreciated by 60, 70,000, and it holds the value there. This is a chunk of cash, right? My Porsche is a chunk of cash there. And then my Aston, anytime, is worth 500,000. That is also a chunk of cash. Imagine back then, 500 plus thousand, I go and buy a top spec E-Class or an S-Class, or I bought the S-Class hybrid for 500 over 1,000. How much would it be worth today? 70 grand, 60 grand. And one day it will be 30,000, the S-Class. So that's what I mean by what we're trying to tell car guys. If you're not a car guy, you won't watch my channel also lah. Alright? Anyway, I'm here, I want to wash my car. They haven't opened yet. Oh, they're closed for lunch. Okay, I'll find a place to park. Cheers. Oh, just done the car wash. And my favorite place. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, that's the lady boss. Yep, that's Auto Detailer, my good friend Darren Chang's place. I saw a lot of interesting cars in there, but I didn't shoot a video today because usually if Darren is free, I would, ask him like, whose car doesn't want to be shown? Because you never know, right? The people who come here, some of them don't want people to know the new car has arrived, or maybe there is a very limited model that one customer has picked up, but the manufacturer doesn't want another customer to know that this guy has picked up his, so that he will go and make noise to the manufacturer that where's mine, I need to check all these kind of sensitivities first before I show you guys what's going on inside, right? Usually that's the case, but then Darren is damn busy, so I don't want to kacau him lah. I wash done and then I chow lah. Yeah. Every time I will ask, today, anything that you don't want people to see. Yeah. And, let's go. This is always a bit tricky. Oh, please don't rain, please don't rain. Where is the sun? Why does it look so gloomy? Why does it always look gloomy whenever you wash your car? Why? I do not think this is a case of selective memory. This is a fact. You wash your car, something happens up there every single time. I think it's gonna rain. I think it's gonna rain. Why? Why does this happen all the time? Anyway, just now I saw a very interesting 992 GT3 RS with a brown that is like outright chocolate, Cadbury chocolate kind of brown. Is that even an option? But that looks like a brand new car, like it just arrived from Porsche. Brand new. Like brand new. I think it arrived and then straight up, upon collection, is straight up brought to auto detailer. You might be wondering, right? It's a new. Oh my God, the sky. Oh. You might be wondering, it's a new car. Why do they need? Actually, a lot. If you brought your new car to Darren, he can show you there are so many things that could have been done better. You know, from manufacturing. Upon delivery, they just do like a coat of polishing, or no, not polish, waxing, you know, so that it's smooth to the touch and all that. But in terms of the paint, when they wipe it, there may be a little bit of swirl marks here and there, all these little blemishes during transportation and all that. They will do it up, you know, properly fix the paint correction, and then they apply the wonderful coatings. I mean, they're good, they know what they're doing, right? They're professionals, and they are the best, not one of the best, they are one of the best. And then they do the coatings, and after the coatings, the PPS, blah blah, and all that. Why are cars not moving? Our lights are green. What's good? Oh, oh, fucking hell. What the heck? What the heck? So unfair to me. Sorry. Yeah. Bugger. Sorry. I need to rush back because of the rain. Truly because of the rain. So yeah, and then I saw Lexus LC500. More and more people are buying it these days. There's a G-Wagon there. There's a beautiful M2. That's my friend as well. He would drive his car, then put it back here, and then they return it to perfect, and then collect it back. And of course Ferraris and all that. And of course Darren's own 991.2 GT3 manual. Oh, that car looks amazing. That is a very rare car over here, right? It's very rare, and he's able to score one. That's not easy. That's his own car. He also has a Mercedes S65 V12 twin turbo. He also has that. Yeah, crazy car. That's a crazy car. And that was straight pipe. If you want to watch video of both his cars, his beautiful olive green. Okay, there's a proper name for it, but I just call it olive green because it looks like olive green. Olive green S65 V12 twin turbo with matte gold Roddy Form wheels, and then his white color manual 991.2 GT3. If you want to watch videos of these two cars, extremely loud cars, you can go and watch Dino's channel. Dino from Speed Hunter. I met him at Darren's place as well. Shot a video of both Darren's car. He's Darren's really good friend, so he travels to Malaysia almost every year to visit Darren. and they go for drives and all that. You know, he works for Speed Hunters in Japan, and he travels here very often. So yeah, he drove both of his cars. Amazing, the sound and all that. Okay, so anyway, if if uh, if if you would like to know more, just bring your car over to Darren, to Auto Detailer. I do my cars there. I appreciate them. They know their stuff, and yeah, yeah. But I'm always the dirtiest, the ugliest car there. You know, when I brought my car over, kind of embarrassing sometimes. But yeah, they take care of my cars really well. Yep, that's it for today's video. Nothing much. Sometimes some random thoughts and all that. I've not been doing this type of videos for a very, very long time. Uh, Sometimes it's just in deep thoughts and then not doing anything, and some people will call it, oh, you're in a depression. I'm Chinese. I'm a traditional Asian. We don't take depression as an excuse. You know, we will be regarded as you're lazy. Yeah, not lazy, no, just too many things going on in the head. All right, cheers. Yeah, see you guys.